Hello everyone, welcome to my class MN Chemistry Online by Majid Khan. So the first MCQs from the atomic structure is which one of the following electronic configuration has the highest ionization potential? So very simple, ionization potential or ionization energy is the amount of energy required to remove the outermost electron from an atom in its gaseous state. And remember that the ionization potential or ionization energy depends upon the atomic size, and second, the ionization energy depends upon the electronic configuration. From the electronic configuration, I mean the orbital where the last electron is, mean वो orbital जहाँ से आप electron को remove कर रहे हैं, so the ionization energy depends upon that too. And the base of orbital, in this case, according to the MCQs, I will say that we have three types of orbital. The first one, partially filled. Second, half filled. And the third, filled, mean fully filled. Filled orbital, half filled orbital, and partially filled orbital. If I consider, for example, if I have S orbital, so I will say 1 half filled and 2 filled. For P, if the electrons are 3, so half filled. If 6, then filled. If consider D, 5 and 10. And for F, half filled 7 and filled 14. Remember, on the basis of energy, on the basis of stability, filled orbital is more stable than half filled, while half filled is more stable than partially filled. What does it mean? It means that if the electron is there in an orbital and the orbital is filled, so the amount of energy that is required to remove the outermost electron will be greater as compared to half filled. And if electron is there in the half filled, so the amount of energy required to remove the outermost electron will be greater as compared to the partially filled. What I mean by partially filled? Mean the orbital beside filled and half filled. For example, I consider the p orbital. If the electrons which are there in the p orbital are 3, so we say this is half filled. If the electrons are 6, we consider as a filled. If the number of electron is equal to 2, 1, 2, 4 and 5, we say the p orbital is partially filled. Now come to the MCQs. Consider the first one. 1 is 2, 2 is 2 and 2 p1. I say 2 electron in the first shell and 3 electron in the second shell. Consider this one, 2 electron in the first shell and 4 electron in the second shell. Consider this one, 2 electron in the first shell and 5 electron in the second shell. Consider this one, 2 electron, 8 electron and 5 electron. So here we have 3 shells. I will say, for example, this nucleus, first shell, second shell and third shell. We say here the atomic size is greater as compared to when the shells are 2 in number. So I told you that when the atomic size increases, so there is inverse proportionality. When the atomic size increases, the ionization energy decreases, mean less amount of energy will be required to remove the outermost electron. So this one is excluded. This one is not the answer, because in this case we have 3 shells as compared to all these with 2 shells we have. Now consider the first one. This one is partially filled. This one is partially filled, while this one is half filled. And I told you that half filled is more stable than partially filled. So the answer is C. Now consider equation number question number 2. Electron affinity of fluorine. Electron affinity of fluorine is less than chlorine because fluorine has small size. Yes. Fluorine cloud is compact. Yes. Fluorine has greater electron negativity, which shields the nucleus. So electronegativity, as you know, that the electronegativity of fluorine is greater, and electronegativity is the ease or force through which an atom attracts the shell electron pair toward itself. while in this case we are talking about the electron affinity, which is the amount of energy released or absorbed when an electron is added to the outermost shell of an atom. So electron affinity in this case does not explain the electron affinity of fluorine, because the fluorine have a greater electronegativity than chlorine, but the electron affinity of fluorine is less. Electronegativity of fluorine is greater if we consider electronegativity. Then fluorine has greater electronegativity than chlorine. If we consider electron affinity, then fluorine is less than chlorine. So here the electronegativity can't explain the phenomena, and the D option both A and B. So both A and B are correct. So this one is the option. Now consider question number third, MCQs number third. Which one of the following is the correct order of increasing size? So very simple. Anion on the basis of size. Anion, size of the anion is greater than neutral, and neutral is greater than cation. So first will be anion. Anion, no, no. So this one, anion, then neutral, then cation positive. So C is the correct option. Now consider question number 4. Which one of the following has the highest dipole moment? So dipole moment of HF, hydrogen fluoride, is 1.9, 1 dBi, water 1.85 dBi, and NH3 1.46 dBi, and then this one is almost non-polar, mean dipole moment is equal to 0. So this one is the correct option. Following is not correct, is not a correct statement. So this MCQ has a broad concept. It gives you about the concept about the bond length, the bond order, even percentage of S character, and the atomic size. So option number first, bond length is directly proportional to the atomic size, mean greater the atomic size, so greater be the bond length. So this is the correct one. Second one, bond length is inversely proportional to bond order. So consider color nitrogen, where the bond order is 3, oxygen bond order is 2, hydrogen bond order is 1. So if we consider the bond length is this, in this case is greater than this one, and in this case greater than this one, mean inverse proportionality is there between bond length and the bond order. Now consider option number C, bond length is directly proportional to the percentage of S characters. So for this you consider sp3, sp2, and sp. So the bond length of sp3 is greater than sp2, and in, for example, carbon single bond carbon, and carbon double bond carbon, and carbon triple bond carbon. So in this case the bond length is greater than this, and the shortest bond length is of this one. If you consider the percentage of S character, so here S is 25% in sp3 single bond, while in sp2 S is 33%, while in sp S is 50%. It means that greater the S character, shorter will be the bond length, being inverse proportionality is there. So this option, this statement is not a correct one, and they are asking for which one of the following is not a correct one. So this one is the option. This one is the correct answer. The statement is not correct. The correct option is this, because they are asking for the incorrect option. D number, bond length is directly proportional to electronic repulsion. Yes, greater the electronic repulsion, so greater will be the bond length. Now consider question number 6. All of them have the same geometry except. All of them have the same geometry except H2O oxygen belong to group number 6. Sulfur belong to group number 6, and 2 hydrogen are here. Selenium belong to group number 6, and 2 chlorine are here. So these three, this is angular, and angular, while this one is pyramidal structure. So this one is the exception one, mean all these three have the same geometry, while NH3 have a pyramidal structure, trigonal pyramidal structure in case of NH3. Now consider question number 7. The bond formed by which one overlap will be a stronger one? Remember, strength of the bond is directly proportional to the overlap. And very simple, overlap is directly proportional to the directional nature of orbital that undergo overlap. So p orbital is directional and s orbital is non-directional. It means that pp overlap, both are directional, will be greater. So stronger will be the bond of pp. This one is overlap is greater than ps orbital. One is directional and another one is non-directional, which in turn is greater than ss overlap. The bond formed by which one overlap will be a stronger one? Mean by this one, pp overlap, the bond will be stronger. Then ps overlap, the bond will be stronger than ss overlap. Now ss is greater, so this is not the option. pp is greater than ss. No, pp is greater than ps. pp is greater than ps and p is greater than ss. So this one is the C is the correct option. Now consider MCQs number 8. Correct order of bond strength by overlapping of atomic orbitals. I told you in the MCQs number 7 that correct order of bond strength depends upon the overlapping of the orbitals, which depends upon the directional nature of the orbital. अब मैंने कह दिया आपको कि PP overlap is greater than PS and PS overlap is greater than SS overlap. And further, if the orbital which are there in the same shell, orbitals which are there which belong to the same shell, there is a greater possibility, probability or possibility of overlap. So now consider the option number first. A, 1s overlap is greater than 1s 2s and 1s and 2p. So ये ठीक इसलिए नहीं हो सकता कि 1s and 2p, though these two belong to group number first and this one belong to group number second. चलो आगे देखते हैं कि आगे ऑप्शंस में क्या है. 2s overlap is greater than 2s 2p. तो ये नहीं हो सकता है क्योंकि 2p this one 2p overlap is less than all. So ये गलत है, ये ठीक नहीं हो सकता क्योंकि 2p will be greater, क्योंकि मैंने आपको कह दिया है कि pp overlap is greater than ps, which in turn is greater than ss. First एक ये पॉइंट याद रख ले. And second, orbital belong to the same shell, so there will be a greater overlap. So यहाँ पे दोनों p belong to group number second, so overlap will be greater on the basis of first as well as on the basis of second point. So this one is not a correct one. Now consider number C. 2s 2p orbital overlap is greater than 2s 2s. Yes, this is okay. This one is okay. 2s 2p will be greater. But look here, 2p is the smallest one. So ये भी गलत है क्योंकि 2p overlap सबसे ज्यादा होना चाहिए. Now consider D1. 1 is overlap is greater than 1 is 2p and 1 is 2p, 2 is 2p. This one is 2 is 2p. 1 is overlap is greater than 1 is 2p and the second 1 is 1s overlap is greater than 1s and 2p, which in turn is greater than 1s and 2s. अब A and B, the first A and D में से हमने consider करना है which one is the correct one. B and C are incorrect. Now consider, look here. यहाँ पे 1s and 1s overlap is greater. Both belong to shell number first, and मैंने कह दिया कि same shell greater will be the overlap. So the first portion in this one is the correct. 1s overlap is greater. So both A and D, this first thing is okay. Now consider this one, which 1s is greater than 1s and 2s. अब देख ले, 1s belong to shell number first and 2s belong to shell number second. अब यहाँ पे देख ले, 1s belong to group number first and 2p belong to group number 1 is belong to shell number first and 2p belong to shell number second. यहाँ पे अगरचे दोनों केसेस में एक ऑर्बिटल शेल नंबर फर्स्ट से बिलोंग करता है, दूसरा ऑर्बिटल शेल नंबर सेकंड से बिलोंग करता है, लेकिन एक पॉइंट तो यह है कि बोथ बिलोंग टू डिफरेंट शेल। लेकिन आप देख लें यहाँ पे इस ओवरलैप है, दोनों डिफरेंट शेल से हैं। यहाँ पे इस पी ओवरलैप है, दोनों डिफरेंट शेल से हैं, शेल डिफरेंट है बोथ केसेस में। अब देख ले पॉइंट नंबर फर्स्ट के बेस पे, यहाँ पे p और s का ओवरलैप है, यहाँ पे s और s का ओवरलैप है। इन दिस केस द p ऑर्बिटल इज डायरेक्शनल इन नेचर, मीन इन दिस केस द ओवरलैप विल बी ग्रेटर देन दिस वन। सो हियर अब ये सीक्वेंस जो है ये गलत है, मतलब 1s 2p ओवरलैप इज 1s 2p ओवरलैप इज ग्रेटर देन 1s 2s ओवरलैप। अब डी में आए 1s ओवरलैप इज ग्रेटर, ये करेक्ट है ये पोर्शन। 1s 2p is greater than 1s 2s, the same thing है, लेकिन यहाँ पे सिर्फ सीक्वेंस बदल है। यहाँ पे आप देख ले 1s और 2p belongs to shell different shells, but this p is directional in nature। अब यहाँ देख ले 1s 2s belong to different shell, but both are non-directional in nature, so ये ओवरलैप ज्यादा है, 1s 2p ओवरलैप ग्रेटर है 1s 2s से। सो द करेक्ट ऑप्शन इज डी। सो आंसर क्या है? डी है। नाउ कंसिडर MCQs question number 9. MCQs number 9, the number of maximum sigma bonds that form between atoms 3, 2, 1 and 4. So the number of maximum sigma bond that forms between two atoms is 1, and the number of maximum pi bond that forms between two atoms is 3. Consider nitrogen, is 2. Consider nitrogen, so one is sigma and the other two pi 1 and pi 2. Consider triple bond between carbon, so the one is sigma, the other two pi 1 and pi 2 are the pi bonds. So the number of maximum pi bonds that form between two atoms is 2, while the number of sigma bond that forms between two atoms is 1. So here the correct option is 1. MCQs number 10. Which one of the following is most ionic? NaCl, MgCl2, HCl and Cl2, and as you know कि अगर आपको एग्जैक्ट का सही तरह से पता नहीं है तो उसे पिक आउट कर दे जो आपको क्लियर है कि ये तो ऑप्शन नहीं हो सकता। सो हियर इज द कोवेलेंट बॉन्ड, here is the covalent bond. Now the game is between A and B. Now consider NaCl is ionic, MgCl2 is ionic, and according to Pajan rule, you know, from Pajan's rule, you know that greater the positive charge, more will be the covalent character, mean less will be the ionic character. So here the positive charge is +2, while here the positive charge is +1. So this one is more covalent than this one, mean this one is more ionic. So the correct option, MCQs number 10, is A. Now consider question number 11. Orbitals in the same direction interfere. Number A, constructively only, destructively only. C, maybe destructively, maybe constructively, and none. So we know that, for example, we have PX and PX. So they overlap with each other, and we have two types of overlap, the constructive interference, and the second one is destructive interference. ये मैंने डिटेल में एक्सप्लेन की है गालिबन hybridization में. अब consider जो the orbital which is formed by the constructive interference is called bonding molecular orbital BMO, and which are formed by the destructive interference of atomic orbital are called anti-bonding molecular orbitals. Now the orbital when they interfere with each other, with each other, they may form, for example, 3 atomic orbital from one side and 3 atomic orbital from another side. So 6 atomic orbital overlap, it form 6 molecular orbital, and half of that molecular orbital, half will be bonding and half will be anti-bonding. Mean the atomic orbital, when they interpair with each other, their interference may be constructive one, may be destructive one, because when they interfere with each other, both bonding molecular orbital and anti-bonding molecular orbital are formed. So the option C is the correct one. The interference of the atomic orbital may be constructive one and may be destructive one. Now consider question number 12. In which of the following the angle between covalent bond is maximum? In which case the angle is maximum? Consider carbon dioxide. So C double bond O double bond O, the bond angle is 180 degree. Consider NH3. So in this case, in case of NH3, the bond angle is 107 degree. Consider H2O. The bond angle is 104.5 degree. Consider CH3, which is tetrahedral. The bond angle is 109.5 degree. So in case of CO2, the bond angle is maximum. Now consider question number 13. If a compound have ionic, covalent and coordinate covalent bond without a transition metal, the compound will be, for example, हमारे साथ एक कंपाउंड है जहां पे उस कंपाउंड में आयनिक बॉन्ड भी है, कोवेलेंट बॉन्ड भी है एंड कोऑर्डिनेट कोवेलेंट बॉन्ड भी है, एंड देयर इज नो ट्रांजिशन मेटल, मीन कॉम्प्लेक्स कंपाउंड नहीं है, कॉम्प्लेक्स नहीं है, देन नेचर ऑफ द कंपाउंड क्या होगी? क्या वो आयनिक होगी, कोवेलेंट होगी, या कोऑर्डिनेट कोवेलेंट बॉन्ड मीन ऑलमोस्ट कोवेलेंट होगी? सो कोऑर्डिनेट नो, आयनिक यस. रिमेंबर द कंपाउंड विल बी आयनिक. मैं एग्जांपल देता हूं NH4Cl का. NH4Cl में NH4 पॉजिटिव एंड Cl नेगेटिव के दरमियान आयनिक बॉन्ड है. NH बॉन्ड H ये बॉन्ड कोवेलेंट है और एक बॉन्ड जो है वो कोऑर्डिनेट कोवेलेंट है. सो एज ए होल कोवेलेंट बॉन्ड, कोऑर्डिनेट कोवेलेंट बॉन्ड is here, covalent bond is here, ionic bond is here, but as a whole the compound is ionic in nature, so option B is the correct one. Now consider कर ले MCQ number 14. NH4Cl has dash bond, ionic bond, covalent bond, coordinate covalent bond and all जो मैंने पहले explain कर दिया. Ionic bond is there, covalent bond is there and coordinate covalent bond is there. Now consider MCQ number 15. The bond which results in formula unit. So you know about this, that ionic compound are represented by formula unit. So coordinate covalent bond, ionic covalent bond, ionic bond. So the correct option is the ionic, because ionic compounds are represented by the formula unit. Now consider MCQs number 16. Which one of the following is the correct order of increasing melting point and boiling point? So very simple. Greater the electronegativity difference. Very simple. Look here, explanation for this. Greater delta En of the bonded atom, more will be the ionic character, is directly proportional to the ionic character, which in turn is directly proportional to high melting point and boiling point. Mean greater the electronegativity difference between the bonded atoms, the bond will be more ionic in character, and greater the ionic character, higher will be the melting point and boiling point. Now consider sodium. In all cases, sodium is common. The difference is halogen. So we know that fluorine is more electronegative than chlorine, which in turn is more electronegative than bromine, which in turn is more electronegative than iodine. It means that the bond between NaF will be more ionic than NaCl, which in turn will be more ionic than NaBr and less ionic than from all NaI. So they are asking for the melting point, boiling point. It means if this sequence is there, so this will be the correct sequence of the increasing ionic character mean this one will be the exact sequence of the high melting point and boiling point. So in ABR is on the first one, so this is not the option. In ABR again here the first one, so this is not the option. NAF is here on the first. NAF is greater than NaCl, which in turn is greater than NABR, which in turn is greater than NaI. So this one is the correct option. So C, option C is the answer here. Now consider MCQ number 17. Pyrenitrogen NCl5 dash bonds are ionic. In case of NCl5 the bond is ionic, bond are covalent, so this may be the correct one. Bond ionic nahi ho sakte. Chlorine is more electronegative and so nitrogen is more electronegative. The bond will be polar, but this will be the covalent bond. So the bond ionic, this is not correct. Cross bond are covalent, it may be correct. Both A and B, so this is also not correct because bond are not ionic. NaCl5 does not exist, so remember NaCl5 does not exist. PCl5 exists, NaCl5 does not exist. इसका एक सेपरेट एक्सप्लेनेशन है जो किसी और टाइम चला कर लेंगे. Now consider question number 18. Dipole moment is a dash quantity. Is a scalar quantity, is a vector quantity, both scalar and vector. जो नहीं हो सकते none. So कोई ना कोई property तो होगी. So remember dipole moment is a vector quantity, mean depends upon the direction which travels, which is represented by an arrow which travels from positive to negative. Now consider MCQs number 19. Which one of the following is incorrect about pi bond, which is formed by the parallel overlap of the atomic orbitals? Unhybridized orbital, you can say, formed by sidewise overlaps, so this is okay. They are asking for incorrect. Less energy, it means less energy is required, almost 65 calorie for more energy is required to break the bond, mean less energy is required. Bond energy is 65 kilocalorie, yes. More stable, so less stable than ionic, so this one is the correct option. This one is incorrect about the pi bond and they are asking about the incorrect, so here the correct option is D, which is incorrect about the pi bond. Now consider MCQs number 20. Which one of the following is the correct order of bond energy? Now look here. Bond energy is directly proportional to S percentage of S character, percentage of S orbital character, and which in turn is inversely proportional to percentage of P character. Now consider, we have sp3, sp2 and sp, and I told you that sp3, sp2 and sp, here the S character is 25%. Here the S character is 33%, and here the S character is 50%. And I told you that bond energy is directly proportional to the percentage of S character. एक MCQ इस पे मैंने पहले भी किया कि bond energy is directly proportional to S character and bond energy is inversely proportional to bond length. Bond length is inversely proportional to S character. जो मैंने पहले attempt किया इसके बारे में, मैंने पहले बता दिया इसके बारे में. So here sp3 25, sp2 sp3 25, sp2 33 and sp 50%, and I told you bond energy is directly proportional to percentage. So sp bond energy is greater than sp2, which in turn is greater than sp3. So जहाँ पे sp greater है सबसे, वो that will be the correct option. यहाँ पे sp3 है, so this is not the correct option. यहाँ पे भी sp3 है, ये भी correct option नहीं है. यहाँ पे sp3 is less than sp2 and sp2 is less than sp, mean sp is greater than sp2 and sp2 is greater than sp3. So this one is the correct option. Explanation: bond energy is directly proportional to the percentage of S character, or you can say bond energy is inversely proportional to the percentage of P character. Both दोनों केसेस में आप जो है वो हल कर सकते हैं. यू मे गो टू द फाइनल पॉइंट. Question number 21.